Okay, now we're still part three of Arizona's road to industrialization. If you recall the five C's: copper, climate, cotton, cattle, and citrus. Okay, that was the backbone of Arizona's previous economy. This new manufacturing based economy is now leading this road to industrialization, which is driving asset prices, particularly real estate, residential real estate, to higher levels. That being said, when you think about our road to industrialization, right, we had the semiconductor industry, which is the absolute juggernaut of the space that's making headways in Arizona. Then you have electronic vehicles, which includes spaceships, solo driving cars, rigs, and luxury vehicles like Lucid. Okay, now part three, it's kind of more everyday products, but even though they might not be tracking in the tens of billions of dollars, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars being invested in manufacturing facilities is nothing to shrug your shoulders about. It is a amazing feat that these companies are picking Arizona to create manufacturing plants. And it makes a lot of sense when you think about Phoenix. It is a great location when it comes to supply chain logistics. We have lots of international flights. We are neighbors of Mexico, and we can get to the California coast in a matter of hours. I mean, it's astonishing when it comes to supply chain logistics, the level of access that Phoenix has its hands on. That being said, when we look at manufacturing as a whole, there's three other moves, I want to say economic moves, that are being made by massive corporations still, and they are reinvesting here in Arizona. Particularly, we're going to be talking about Coolidge um, and some other cities as well. So let's get into part three. Okay, manufacturing, creating jobs by hand. All right, I love manufacturing. I think manufacturing is great. I think when it comes to the principle of decentralization, uh, most famously made by cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. I also love the concept of decentralization, meaning bringing your manufacturing as close to your customers and your people as possible. Okay, and I think this is something that's really good, especially for Arizona. So here are the powerhouses, and these manufacturing sites will be focusing on food and just random other products. Okay, so the first one is Nestle. Okay, even though they are I think they're a Swiss-based company, but they Nestle USA is basically looking at a plant here in Glendale, Arizona. It's going to be creating 350 jobs, and they're going to be focusing on coffee creamer. So I thought that was kind of fun, and that is a lot of jobs to create coffee creamer. So I thought that's astonishing. The Pinal County industrial growth basically is it's basically going to be an enormous center where multiple corporations are going to be coming into making things. Um, I think the number one corporation that was in the in the breaking news was Procter and Gamble, and Procter and Gamble makes everything, whether it's hygiene or healthcare equipment. They basically make it all. Okay. Now, the other one that's interesting is Arizona Fresh Agri-Food Innovation Center. It was a mouthful, so I wanted to make sure I read it correctly. That's going to be in South Phoenix. Even though they consider South Phoenix a food desert, um, one of the coolest things in Phoenix, and if you ever go check it out, it's called the Worm Farm. And basically, this worm farm is astonishing. What it basically creates mulch and lots of other great soils to make them fertile, and you can basically go there, buy dirt and mulch from this company, and if you want to grow a home garden or literally even start a farm, you're probably going to go and get stuff from the worm farm. And when I think about a lot of the environmental issues that are currently going on, I think the worm farm is a phenomenal place. So, you could basically take land that's been destroyed, and if you mix stuff in from what you get from the worm farm, basically you can innovate your way out of a lot of environmental catastrophes. So I don't know. I think it's very interesting that they called South Phoenix a food desert, even though you got the worm farm there. But that being said, it's probably considered a food desert just because of the lack of access to fresh food, basically, right? Getting fruits and vegetables and making your population more healthy. This facility is going to be designed to answer that question. It's going to be a distribution center, so it's going to allow a lot more companies to be able to deliver products and fruits and vegetables to its clients, and it will be serving South Phoenix. Um, the other thing that's interesting, it's going to have a farmers market, so businesses that are, there's so many farmers. Like I said, Arizona is actually has a very long history of farming and has a farming heritage. Now, we could talk about a lot of the water issues, and I'm fortunate what's going on with the farmers in that regard. But I'm hoping that a facility like this would help give more opportunity to these farmers. I'll probably do some more digging around, but as you know, I'm a realtor, so my expertise is real estate. And I have not studied too much farmland, but I have studied real estate development. So, interestingly, when you look at real estate development as a whole, obviously, as a city expands, the first people who are going to sell, if it's not acquired by a city, is going to be probably farms, right? So, I need to study more about farmland in general, but it is. I think that the Agri-Food Center is an innovation center is really great when it comes to distributing healthy fruits and vegetables and giving a farmers market and a great retail platform for local farmers. That's always great for me. So these facilities are all being constructed here in Arizona. And when I think about manufacturing and I think about all the things that are being built here in Phoenix and in the Valley and in Coolidge, I love it. I love how much innovation and creation is growing here, and I'm hoping that it creates a more prosperous future for Arizonans and everyone who lives here. So that being said, I'm very excited about the real estate that it's going to help the middle class, and it's going to basically hold up housing prices, in my opinion. And I'm just excited about manufacturing as a whole. I love manufacturing. I love the jobs it creates. And that's why I titled the section Creating Jobs by Hand. So, and not to mention, I wanted to acknowledge the fact that these companies were pouring hundreds of millions of dollars. No, I'm not saying tens of billions, but hundreds of millions. And hundreds of millions of dollars is nothing to shrug your shoulders at. It is going to help the housing market. It's going to help create jobs. And anything that empowers the middle class is fine by me. So, that being said, I hope you enjoyed part 3 of the 3-part series about the Arizona's path to industrialization. Though, thanks a lot for watching. I have a lot more content on the way. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to reach out. And I will talk to you soon. I can't wait to share so much to share with you guys. All right, so hopefully we can dive into some real estate soon as well. So, talk to you soon.